Moonlit Road by Diana Lee Woody, based on the short story The Moonlit Road by Ambrose Bierce.
Get out! Leave me alone!
James, wake up!
What happened?
Did you see her again?
Yes. She was coming for me. She gets a little closer every night.
Well, you know who I think it is.
Oh, not this again.
Why not? You said she had long, dark hair, like your mother. It makes perfectly good sense. Ghosts linger around a house if they have unfinished business.
My mother died in this house. Coming back here is dragging up some deep-rooted psychological stress which is manifesting itself in my dreams.
That's what the doctor told you, and he hasn't helped you at all. The sooner you accept that your mother is haunting you, the sooner we can figure out what she wants and send her on her way.
Oh, no. You're not getting out your Ouija board, are you?
No, this calls for a professional. I've done some research, and I found a medium. Her name is Madame Levinsky. I talked to her, and she seems very knowledgeable about these kinds of things. She said a seance is the best way to find out why your mother is haunting you.
A seance? Are you serious?
Yes, why not? What's the worst that could happen? We've tried everything else. Could we at least try this, please? For me?
All right, I'll do it. For you. At the very least, it should be entertaining. But I'll only do it under one condition.
Okay.
If the seance doesn't work, then you'll give up the notion that my mother is haunting me and we'll hear no more about ghosts. Agreed?
Agreed.
Now let's go back to sleep. You can make the appointment in the morning.
I already did. She'll be here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock sharp. I want to thank you again, Madame Levinsky, for coming on such short notice.
Did you bring the personal item?
Here it is. It belonged to James's mother, Julia.
Oh, what a beautiful music box.
Well, Alice shouldn't have given you that. You see, my father gave it to my mother on their wedding day. It's very delicate.
Madame Levinsky said I should bring something that was important to her. You said she played it all the time.
Do not worry, Mr. Hertman. I will be careful. I will just wind it. It does not work.
It stopped working the day Julia died, almost like the life went out of it when the life went out of Julia.
Yes. I sense there is a strong connection between Julia and her music box. It was a good choice to entice her from the other side.
So once you entice her from the other side, you can make her leave?
Not necessarily. I can only conjure spirits, but I cannot make them leave the house. They have to want to leave.
Madame Levinsky, you have to make her leave. After Julia was murdered, James's father, Joel, went mad because she was haunting him. Now she's haunting James, and she'll drive him mad just like she did his father.
Alice, I wish you would stop telling people that the men in my family are doomed to go mad.
Alice mentioned you see apparitions every night. Could you describe them for me?
They're all basically the same. They start out with the sound of footsteps coming into our bedroom. I wake up to see a woman coming towards me. She's reaching for me, and it looks like she's saying something, but I can't hear her.
And then he sits up straight, looks towards the door, and yells, "Get out! Leave me alone!" James didn't mention it, but the woman looks like his mother.
And that is why Alice is convinced the woman is my dead mother.
It is very likely. A spirit will remain where it has felt great emotion of some kind, love or hate. And if she was murdered in the house...
I knew it! I knew we had a ghost! Now all you have to do is make her go away before she drives James mad like his father.
For the last time, I am not going to go mad!
Yes, you will! I can already see it! You never used to raise your voice to me, and look at you! You have dark circles under your eyes. You look like you haven't slept in weeks.
That's because I haven't slept in weeks. I'm exhausted from moving into this old house. Do you think I wanted to come back to the home where my mother was murdered? But we didn't have a choice.
I didn't say anything about you losing your job.
You didn't have to. And now, with you constantly badgering me with your haunting theories,
I'm not badgering you! I'm just very worried about you.
Enough of this bickering! You will disturb the spirits!
I'm sorry, Madame Levinsky. Please continue.
Thank you. Now tell me more about the murder.
It was Joel who found her. At least that's what it said in the newspaper article. It said Joel Hertman was away on a business trip to Nashville, but he returned early. According to the article, Joel said when he saw a man come out of the house, he tried to pursue the man, but he got away. When he ran into the house to look for his wife, he tripped over a large object. And do you know what that large object was? It was Julia's dead body. She had been strangled to death.
My God, Alice, must you be so macabre? That's my mother you're talking about.
Madame Levinsky needs to know all the details so she can help us.
She is correct. Any information will help me understand the emotional state of the spirits.
They caught the burglar the next day. He confessed to the burglary, but not the murder. Of course, no one believed him and he was convicted. But he went to the gallows swearing he never killed Julia.
I can only imagine, Mr. Hertman, how traumatic it must have been for your father finding your mother strangled to death.
He practically worshipped the ground she walked on. James once told me if another man so much as looked at his mother, his father would go into a rage.
He was a very passionate man.
He had a mental breakdown after she was murdered. James had to quit school to take care of him.
I came home temporarily to take care of him. I stayed with him until the night he ran away.
Tell me about that night, Mr. Hertman.
We were walking the grounds after dinner. It was the one thing that distracted him from Mother's death. It was a full moon night.
James, I think it's time you went back to school.
No, I don't like the thought of you being here all alone.
I'm not alone. I have Bessie. Bessie will watch out for me, won't you, girl?
Father, what is it? What are you looking at?
I thought I saw something move over there by the trees.
I don't see anything.
Bessie sees it too. Someone's coming toward us. Who on earth would be out this time? Oh my God, no. It can't be. What do you want?
Father, what are you talking about? There's nothing there. Bessie, calm down. Oh no, she got loose. Bessie, come back here. She's headed back to the house. She should be okay. That wasn't like Bessie at all. What do you think frightened her, Father? Father? Father! Where are you? By the time I turned back to Father, he was gone. It was like he had vanished into thin air. I combed the grounds for days, but I never saw him again.
And you never saw what frightened him?
No, but from the look on his face, it must have been horrible.
It was Julia's ghost. Bessie saw her too. That's why she was barking. Dogs can sense ghosts, can't they, Madame Levinsky?
There are many cases of animals seeing spirits.
She probably saw a squirrel.
Oh, James is too logical for his own good.
You are skeptical, Mr. Hertman?
I can't deny strange things have been happening, and I don't have an immediate answer for them. But a ghost doesn't seem to be a very scientific explanation.
Yes, I understand. But you must remember, Mr. Hertman, there are things in this world that cannot always be explained by the present knowledge. Try to have an open mind to speaking to the spirit world. It is simply another means of communication.
Igor Blazinski told me you were the best medium in the county, and he was right.
Igor Blazinski? That's our butcher.
I assure you, Mr. Hertman, I have a great deal of experience communicating with spirits. They have talked to me ever since I was a little girl. At first it was something I despised because it made me different from the other children. But then my mother said to me, "Zelda, you have a wonderful gift. You should not be afraid of it. You can help people talk to their loved ones. I have helped many people over the years. I can help you too. So we may proceed?"
Go ahead, Madame Levinsky. James promised he would try this, so tell us what to do and we will do it.
Good. First of all, put your hands on the table. We will all touch hands.
Now what happens? Is Mother going to appear? Or speak through you? Or one of us?
James, you promised you would give this a chance.
It's a legitimate question.
Shh! I feel a presence.
Is it Julia?
It is not a woman.
It must be James's father. Ask him if he was haunted by Julia.
Shh! Spirits are skittish if pressured. We must ask if the spirit wants to communicate with us. Oh, spirit, if you are willing to visit, give us a sign.
Oh, over there! I see a man! James, isn't that your father?
It looks like him, but this must be some kind of trick. I've heard about these kind of things.
No, Mr. Hertman, it is not a trick. If you see him, it is your father.
Can he see us?
No, these are only apparitions of things that have already happened. He cannot see us or hear us. He is merely repeating what has already occurred.
This is absurd. What am I doing here, crouching behind a bush outside my house? Because some man on the train put this doubt in my mind? Just because his wife is unfaithful to him doesn't mean Julia will be unfaithful to me. Julia loves me. I should leave now before she sees me. But then again, men are always gathering around Julia. She says they're just friends. The man on the train said his wife had friends, and the next thing he knew, she ran off with one of her so-called friends. Maybe I'll stay a little while longer. After all, what harm would it do? What's that? Who's that strange man coming out of my house? My God, the man on the train was right. As soon as I'm out of the house, she has one of her friends over. I'll catch him and see which friend he is. He's too fast. I've lost him. But she's in there somewhere, and I'll find out who that man was. The lights are on. She's probably still in bed where he left her. I'll go upstairs and see what she has to say for herself. There she is. Just as I thought, still in bed, dreaming of him. She's dead. I've killed her. Oh God, Julia, why did you make me do this? All I asked was that you love me, but the minute I turn my back, you betray me.
My God, he killed her. He always said he loved her more than life itself. How could he have killed her?
Because he thought she was unfaithful to him. A man can go mad when he thinks he is losing his wife.
Madam Levinsky, can you bring Julia back so we can hear her side of the story? I think it will help James.
I will try. But conjuring two spirits in one night could be difficult. And I was only paid for one.
Please, we'll pay whatever you want.
Very well. Hands on the table again, please. Oh, Julia Hertman, we would like to see your side of the story. Will you share it with us tonight?
I can't wait till Joel gets home tomorrow. I never sleep well when he's gone. I'll open the window. The fresh air should help me sleep. Oh, that must be Joel. He must have gotten home early. That's strange. Why is he making so much noise? Usually he's much quieter this late at night. That can't be Joel. Oh dear God, someone's broken in. Calm down, Julia. Think. What do I do? If I call for help, he'll know I'm here. Oh, thank God. He's gone. I'll go downstairs and call the police. He's back. And he's coming up the stairs. There's no time to hide. What do I do? I'll go back to bed. Maybe if he thinks I'm asleep, he'll take what he wants and leave. Where am I? How did I get here? I think I remember I was in my bedroom. Someone came in and I felt something on my neck and everything went black. And now I here in this lonely abyss and I can't find my family. I curse the monster who did this to me. If I only had seen his face. What is that? Footsteps? Could it be them? It is, it's them. They've come for me. I won't be alone anymore. James! Joel! That's peculiar. They don't hear me. I'll get closer. Joel? James? Joel, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? No, please don't run away. I don't understand. Joel, come back. Please. I've missed you so much.
She didn't know he killed her. She was only coming for him to tell him she missed him.
That must be why she's coming for you every night. She only wants to tell you she misses you.
And I yelled at her to leave me alone.
You see, Mr. Hertman, you never had a reason to fear Julia. She never meant to harm you or your father. You and Mrs. Hertman are safe.
But what happens to my mother now? Is she stuck here in this house, having to relive these painful scenes every night?
I am afraid so. Julia can only be released from her earthly chains when she learns the truth of her death from her murderer.
That sounds easy enough. You can bring them both back. He can confess. She can forgive him, and then she's free.
Unfortunately, it is not that easy. Since they did not die at the same time, their spirits are separated in different dimensions. In order for Julia and Joel to communicate with each other, they would have to find a way into our world through conduits.
Conduits?
Earthly bodies to speak through. I would guess it would be you and Mrs. Hertman.
We can do that.
But I must warn you, it could be very dangerous. Julia is perfectly harmless to you as she is, but if you upset her, she may not be so harmless.
I'm sure she wouldn't harm us. I've never known Mother to be anything other than kind and gentle.
That was when she was alive. Death may have changed her. You have to keep in mind that Julia is in a very delicate state. She has been suffering for a long time. The revelation that she was murdered by the man she loved might bring out a part of her you've never seen before.
But Julia and Joel are already dead, so they can't be hurt.
But you and your husband are not. And since the ghosts will be using your mortal bodies, it would be you who are risking your lives. So, Mr. Hertman, with that in mind, are you still quite certain you want to proceed?
I don't see how I have a choice. If we do nothing, she'll continue to be miserable and trapped in this house. I can't let her suffer. We have to save her. Madame Levinsky, please, bring them back.
And you, Mrs. Hertman, are you willing to be a conduit for Julia?
Alice?
James, you didn't even believe in this before.
Well, I do now. And I want my mother to be at peace. Please, Alice, will you help me free my mother?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Madame Levinsky, please bring my parents back.
Perhaps this is a bad time to bring this up, but...
Yes, we'll pay whatever it costs.
Very well. Hands back on the table and be very quiet. Oh, Julia and Joel Hertman, your son and his wife have offered their bodies so that you may communicate with one another, so that you may know the truth and free your souls. Will you join us?
Joel? Are you there?
Madame Levinsky, what's happening?
Julia is contacting us through Alice.
Is she safe?
I don't know.
Joel! Where are you, my darling?
Julia?
Joel? Is that you, my darling? I've searched for you for so long. Ever since that night you ran away from me. Why did you run away?
Why did I run? Is that some kind of cruel joke?
All I ever wanted since that night was to find you and tell you how much I love you.
Love me? How could you still love me after what I did?
Oh, what on earth could you have possibly done that would ever make me stop loving you?
You don't know?
Know what?
I killed you.
I don't understand. Why would you kill me?
Because I was mad, Julia. Mad with jealousy. I thought you were cheating on me.
Are you telling me that you are the one who sent me to this horrible abyss? And you did this because you thought I had been unfaithful to you? How could you?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I didn't mean to kill you, Julia. You have to believe me.
And that night I found you walking with James. I was so happy to finally see you again. I wanted to tell you how much I missed you. But all I saw was a look of horror on your face. I'll never forget it. It broke my heart.
I'm so sorry, Julia.
Do you have any idea how much I have suffered?
Julia, I suffered too. When I realized I had wrongly accused you, I couldn't live with myself. I drove myself mad with guilt. When I saw you that night, I was sure you were coming for revenge. So I ran. Without any idea where I was going, I ended up at the river. I don't even know what compelled me to jump in. I started to swim, but the current was too strong. I finally gave up. The river was stronger than my will to live. I had lost you again.
But Joel, you never lost me. You threw me away.
I know I deserve your hatred, but I beg you, Julia, please see it in your heart to forgive me.
What happened? Did it work? Were they here?
They were here.
Did Julia learn the truth?
Yes.
So she's free to leave the house?
Now that she knows the truth, she has nothing holding her here on Earth.
Did Julia forgive Joel?
I do not know. He begged her forgiveness, but you both awoke before she answered.
The music box. It's playing again.
That must mean she's forgiven him.
They are at peace.
But are they gone?
You've been listening to Moonlit Road by Diana Lee Woody, based on the short story The Moonlit Road by Ambrose Bierce, directed by Julie Briggs, and performed by Trey Nichols as James Hertman, Diana Lee Woody as Alice Hertman, Julie Briggs as Madame Levinsky, Matthew Moore as Joel Hertman, and Daria Balling as Julia Hertman. Recorded at Shane Salk Production Studios. This has been an Atomic Cat production.